Hello, folks and pioneers. This is Bimal Shah. I am the founder of the Funding Forge, and I'm going to talk today about the onboarding of the Funding Forge. So, in the previous video, if you get to watch, if you didn't click the link below in the show notes that talks about how to make $25,000 with zero investment out of pocket and get started. No commitment on your part, no credit card, nothing required. Just sign and start making money. And once you've done that, now if you're ready to get onboarded, and start using this software to get clients and get six-figure deals, from your clients for as a consultant or as a coach, you can start using this software. And we're going to walk through the onboarding process, starting what happens next. So we'll start with the subscription and go from there.
Hi everyone, my name is April and I will be helping you, guiding you visually and sharing my screen throughout so you can see exactly and visually what Bimal is describing. So Bimal, I'm excited to talk about this onboarding process today with you. So let's get started with it. Okay. So Bimal, can you help us understand what will be happening during the onboarding process on a simpler manner?
Okay, so the very first step, once you, as I explained before, once your client has paid you the initial retainer of 8,500, and you have three clients, so you have an opportunity to make 25,500 from three customers. And once you have those three, or you're ready to get started with even one, you have enough to pay for, the software. The first year starts at $7,500, which includes 10 grant applications. So if you can show that subscription tiers, I'll walk through the clients, who everybody who's watching, what are all the subscription tiers. So these are all the subscription tiers. So you have two choices. You have an annual subscription and you have a lifetime subscription. So you can start with annual subscription because you started, you already made the money to pay for the first annual subscription, $7,500. It gives you up to 10 applications, and it renews every year to give you 10 grant application. Each grant application is worth 100,000 grant client, so you can make $1 million from that $7,500 investment. And since the state is paying for the consulting and your consulting and coaching and training fees, you can actually get that through the software and start that. So if you show that subscription file, April, I'll walk through what happens in all the three tiers, all the details. The second file, yes. So if you see the screen, if you can enlarge it a little bit, the first tier, is the Millionaire Accelerator, which allows you to get to the first million. It includes 10 grant applications, and the perpetual is about 37,500, which gives you a lifetime license. And each of these licenses, are based to a specific area or a county. And if you like exclusivity to that area, there is a premium for the exclusivity. The billing, with each type of a tier, you get number of grant applications, so that's 10, 20, and 100. The second tier allows you to make multi-million from 1 million to up to 5 million. It includes 20 grant applications. So the key to using this software is choosing your prospects wisely. This is where you focus, not, you don't need everyone and anyone to make money. You need the right prospects to make the right amount of money. So choose your clients and prospects very wisely, because you're getting, a third party, your uncle, to cover for the grants.
Mm.
You need, the client who has problems and client who you can go in and make for 100,000 or more in training. So this is where you choose your clients properly. And once you choose, you have that number of grant applications to do. And then you have, an annual subscription and a lifetime subscription. And then depending on, these are all annual fees. So, you have one payment and you're done, and you not have to worry about the rest of the year. And the full 10 grant, and because it includes the full 10 tiers, that's the reason for, collecting it annually, because these are all 10 applications that are included at a go. So that's the reason it can only be annual mode. Once it's an auto renewal, so you'll get at least 60 days notice upon coming up for renewal, and if you want to renew. And there are also other tiers. So if you are not ready to move from one tier to the next because you just have a few extra clients that you would like to get, then there is, an additional fee that you can pay 1,000 per grant application to get, without having to jump to the next tier. So you can say, okay, I only have a two clients or one or two clients this year, or I'm only going to have no more than two, 10 to 12, so I don't need to jump to 20. So is there a way to get to that without having to jump to the next tier? Yes, there is. So you can pay a little bit more and get those additional clients covered with per grant application without having to upgrade tiers. Then there's also, like I said, exclusivity. So you can choose exclusivity if you want to be dominate a specific market and be the consultant or coach or trainer in a specific area. You can choose the county, and there is, an exclusivity fee that allows you and gives you exclusivity, which means that nobody else can use the same software in your area, and it allows you exclusivity. Now, once you have subscription tiers, you can downgrade or upgrade. You have 90 days to decide, what you want to do with as soon as you get the software. So you can't, you can always upgrade, and if you want to downgrade, you cannot exceed the number of applications that you have done. So if you signed up for the Million Plus Builder, which has 20 applications, and you've only used four, and you want to downgrade, you don't think you're going to use up to this, then you can downgrade to the next level, and things like that. So there are modifications that will be allowed, and things like that. So, and you also get a perpetual license. So this is in general all the detailed subscription, and then you have exclusivity for 3 years if you like to use exclusivity. Now, all of this can also, if you feel you need something different, you can always talk, we can discuss it, and it can be made happen. So now if you go to the portal screen, which is the first file, we can show you what happens next once you subscribe. So once you have subscribed, you will now get to your dashboard. So this dashboard, you will see how many applications. If you can just modify, zoom in a little bit, we can show the dashboard. You will see all your applications, whether and their what status they are, whether they are approved, they're submitted, they're in draft status.
Mm.
So all of this is detailed. Okay, this client, applied on this date. This is the grant amount. This is the status. You want to edit, you want to do anything. This is no longer the client is moving forward. You want to delete whatever. So this is, it shows on your dashboard. These are how many pending. These are draft application, and you're in a 5 million club. You still have X number of grants remaining and what you can do with it. And then you have a simple grant wizard, magical wizard. That's the only thing, you really have to do, and everything else is done automatically for you. So this is where you go through step by step in answering questions about your client. So you previously built your profile. So now you're not building your profile, you're building your client's company's profile. This is where, all the things that you need to do in the grant portal, is done automatically through the software. So you don't have to worry about grant, because grant writing is a very difficult skill. I've mastered it, and I've put all of that in an algorithm in the software, so you don't have to do it. And then, it just takes the information that is needed to do all the grant writing. So now if you go through, there are 5 steps. So if you go through step 1, you enter all your client's business information, um, you know, basic details, first name, registered. They have to be on Sunbiz, and make sure they're registered in Florida. They're more than 2 years, all of that. So you would have previously, gotten eligibility, and you're only applying for those clients. So you want to go. So once you become a subscriber, you now have unlimited pre-qualifications, and you have lifetime validity if you have a lifetime license. So you don't have to worry about pre-qualifications once you become a subscriber. Until you're working on the free module, you only have 3, but once you go from the free to the paid version, you have unlimited pre-qualifications, and you will, after only going through pre-qualification, you will start this process. So if you go up a little bit, this is section number 2, where you enter the client company details, all the details of the company, type of company, years of establishment, number of employees, date of inception, All these are standard questions that you would easily know the answers to. And then you hit next. And then once you go through, click move forward. And then, if there's if the client is, a minority, not a minority, is in a hub zone, we're going to include special links for minority testing and hub zone qualifications and enterprise or rural area qualifications. So you're going to click those links. They're all going to be included. You don't see them now, but they're going to be there. And then once you click those links, you can see if they're in a hub zone or not, and you can click check yes, no. And this will be the information that will be saved and auto-populated and what you need to do on the grant portal and copy paste. And if you go next, there you go. So you continue with, the details like the employer tax ID number, how much if they have spent on training before, and certain questions, they are, 1 second. Sorry about that. Can you? And certain questions, are very standard, and if they don't know the answer, they can reach out and we will help you. But most of the times, they are standard answers they would find. And all of these, we're going to include info buttons. So if you see, click on the I right next to it, you will see info, what it is and what describes. And then you'll also see screenshots. So for example, NAICS code. This NAICS code is usually found on the tax returns of the company, 1120 and all of those things like that. So those are things that you will see, and those questions are easily answerable, and you will see those. And if you scroll down, um, and there, it will populate with what are the next steps. So this will now, once you put all that information, the grant software will automatically tell you what is the secret formula for getting this grant approved to the client, how much amount and all that. And then it will go to the next step of putting it into the grant portal and the reimbursement and all of that. So that is once you become a subscriber. So this is the onboarding. That's all you need to do to go through these 5 stages. And once you do this, you're set. You're set to make a multi-million-dollar business, out of this software by going to the client and saying, "Hey, we can use this grant to pay for, to work with you," and then click next and get started. So once you do this, it will go through, each type of course, and then it will walk you through the steps below. So if you go next. It will give you the courses, it will walk you through the screens and all the information on these sections, which is what you will do is copy paste. If you see here, all you're doing is copy pasting the information onto the grant portal. So it will all be done pre-populated. Everything will be done. You're not entering any information in this stage. All you're doing is having these screens open on the left and the portal that where you're entering the information in the state side on the right, and you're just copy pasting the information. So everything will be pre-filled. If you go through the next screens, it will be all, pre-populated. If you just scroll down below. All of these sections will have important information. You only need to copy paste, and all the sections that are on the portal will also be here, and it will be all done automatically, for you to do it. So that's how it will work. If you scroll down to all the stages, these are all the stages. Go down, and all the next stages and all the details will be there. So this is the software making it very easy to copy paste and getting the job done.
Oh, this is really amazing, Bimal. Amazing system that you've built. And also clarification. So the higher the tier they would choose, it would be a greater capacity and ability to scale quickly, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I
So, and you can
see.
also jump from one tier to once you started making money. And all this, these are all, see, if you see all the screens are pre-populated with information, so you don't need to do anything. And you would just be copy pasting. So this is just a sample of, what will happen and what you'll go through. And then you will have warning signs or, tell you, be careful, do this. It will show you
Mm,
screenshots of how it appears over there. And That's it. That's, how you can make multi-millions with the software. So thank you very much, April, for having me here. And I believe this is the onboarding, and that's it. You do one thing and you're set, and you make multi-millions with zero out-of-pocket investment. And this is a great software and a base for you to do that.
Thank you so much, Bimal, for sharing us the step-by-step onboarding process and what it really looks like for them to have an idea of what are they going to expect on this. So thank you so much for sharing and for making this system for us, for our dear business owners and prospects that are willing to start their own and take the action.
Thank you very much, April. Make yourself a pioneer. Start on this journey. It's the easiest thing for you to do. Start using the software to get clients and get paid from the grant. It has sustained all kinds of politics and policy. It's still doing great. So it's a great platform for you to go out there as a consultant and a coach and a trainer to go out there and make six-figure gigs or more with your clients. Make yourself a pioneer. Be sure to check out the show notes below, the $100 Amazon gift card and all other resources. And, you can use those to scale your business to the next level. Thank you very much. Make yourself a pioneer.